Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Something that I noticed after I had ended the recording of the previous episode was that after I rested, or when I laid down, I thought that some camp was being set up around the bed. But apparently there's a bunch of demons lying around here, which, if you click this, it says that the demons were killed recently, no doubt about that, but it's not clear if it happened here or if the bodies were brought here from elsewhere. Which is kind of weird. I don't know if that, does anyone know anything about that? I assume that demons don't randomly appear. Ask him the questions there, but we can do that later on. Just want to figure out... Oh, I'm also going to mix up the party a little bit. I really have no idea what those demons are doing on the floor down there.
Tread lightly.
Ah, I forgot to talk to Sila. I should do that in case her companion story comes up. So, what do you think of what's going on in Canabras? It's complete chaos. It's lucky we're here to handle it, right? Sila smiles brightly, then she gives you a worried look. Does the way I talk bother you? I know I can seem blasé. Many good people and our protector Terendelev died here in Canabras. A paladin of Iomade is expected to be properly respectful and solemn. But I prefer to face my troubles with a smile and a bit of common sense. Grief is a weapon they'll use against you. It can undermine a warrior's spirit. It's better we hold off on grief until we've driven the last demon and cultist from the city. There's wisdom in the traditions of mourning, and one shouldn't reject them, all the more so if inappropriate merriment could offend other mourners. Many people's loved ones perished in Canabras. Sila sighs. You may be right. I should keep myself in check more. Better discipline, more self-control, qualities suited to a paladin. Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming the hero of 100 ballads, or at least a dozen if they're lively ones? Sila's eyes shine cheerfully. Anyway, to be more serious, the area around the Worldwound is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is reward enough for me, but there is something that worries me. I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing my brothers in arms, but the Eagle Watch and the other orders are focused on just one aim, the war against the Worldwound. That is why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things, ordinary misfortunes, you know. I always liked being a wandering knight because any moment I could get up and go help a poor rat folk whose family had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog had gone missing. So here's my answer. I don't have some big important goal, but I'll be happy to help those who need it, a little bit here and there. Thankfully that wasn't a lot of talk. Irabeth, do you know anything about those demons? No, nobody seems to know anything about those demons. What about the priest? No. Okay, well, I have absolutely no idea, but we shall be heading out. So, we are going to drop... Because I would like a Nenio in the party. Which is going to be quite difficult. Camellia cannot tank... These two kind of overlap one another. In skills, they both have the same trickery, but he has stealth, whereas she does not. Yeah, I would like Nenio in the party, but later on. I definitely want him in the party because he's quite decent as a cleric, so let's go with that party then. I thought I would be switching things around, but apparently not. So the final thing that we need to do is the Grey Garrison, but before that, let's go to the Blackwing Library with a random encounter.
Can we retreat already?
Why? Oh, apparently we're being ambushed.
I'll cut you wide open.
And I'm trying to see if Voldrift works better in melee. Someone suggested that in the comments, and I kind of agree with it. When I have him equipped the way that I do now, he has an attack bonus of +7 on each weapon, so...
Cover me, all right?
Well...
Into the fray! Huh?
Attack!
Darren, it would actually be better if you didn't do anything. Because you're going to trigger... an attack of opportunity, so don't do anything.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Which seems to have been the correct decision. Nothing else of interest. Should be reaching level 5 very soon. Kinda worry how long the story of the game actually is, since we haven't even left the initial city. Take the reagents there, thank you. The lost bag. The Blackwing Library. I don't exactly remember what we were supposed to do here. I think we were looking for someone. Is Lan doing? Something weird. Okay. Caleb.
I found something.
This place is on fire, I think. Large person. Regular karma. What the heck has happened here? Oh, the rift is going through the whole entire thing. The great library of Canabras has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books. Okay. A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. The hefty crusader smiles merrily, paying no heed to the blood-curdling shrieks coming from the pyre and the acrid smell of burning flesh. They burn well enough, don't they? Cursed traitors, Arulu's minions. These vermin infiltrated the crusader forces and aided the demons from inside the city. But I caught them. I am Captain Caleb Zazomal, and these men are my subordinates. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct, and you don't know what you're about to do, but you are certain that it is right. Examine the Crusader's armor and the symbols on it. Failed. Take a closer look at the Ruthless Crusader. Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You have seen similar behavioral quirks before, in liars. What happened to the library? Demons showed up and carried everything off. I wasn't here to see it myself. I was fighting in the square, but these filthy traitors told me everything. My fists made them quite chatty. So, what, you tortured them? Do you think those methods are worthy of a crusader? Under ordinary circumstances, no, but look around. The city is burning. Now is not the time for squeamishness. Who are you punishing? The warrior howls like a wild animal. Look around you. The city is in burning ruins, so many innocent lives lost, and all because of abominations like these here. Cultists, heretics, and spies slipping into our ranks, carrying out the orders of their brutal masters and preparing a heinous death for us all. They want to give us over to the demons, just like Aralu did with Sarkoris. They deserve to feel the flames licking at their legs. This is interesting. Put out those flames. I order you, in the name of Baphomet. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment. And the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. The corners of Darren's mouth are twitching like he's struggling with all his might not to burst out laughing. Waldriff glares menacingly at Caleb. Didn't you know, mortal? We are everywhere. Sir, we didn't know you were one of us. You heard him. Put the flames out. Cuffing his lackeys round the head, Caleb herds them straight towards the fire. All three of them start trying to fight the flames, showing no concern for their own safety. I'm liking the music here. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the Crusader and his lackeys when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. You blithering idiots, you cack-handed dimwits, you empty suits of armor. You watch in satisfaction as Caleb and his two lackeys rush to put out the alchemist's fire. Their armors become covered in soot and welts rise on their skin from the flames. Succumbing to another strange oratorical impulse, you chivvy them along with barked orders and florid invective. Quickly, you worms! If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace at the Grey Garrison. Caleb grunts in wordless terror and desperately fights the flames. Every so often he sends murderous looks at his associates, whom he has clearly already condemned to death. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man. I'll take the other two into Baphomet's forces. With a wary look in your direction, Caleb abandons his own attempts to quell the flames and turns his focus to thumping and kicking his subordinates to hurry them along. This method proves surprisingly effective, and the flames begin to dwindle. Caleb is a Crusader name. Are you a Crusader? I hereby give you a name worthy of a demon. Foul Snout! Biting his lip, the bold cultist proudly thrusts out his chest. Thank you, sir. Foul Snout furrows his brow in a display of menace, trying to show his brutal determination to take on all the Crusader forces put together. Report, who are you? The Crusader's eyes bulge in fear as he barks out. Caleb Sazumal, former knight of the Order of Everbright Crusaders, deserter. These two are my mates from playing cards, local fences for stolen goods. Reliable men. We set an ambush and caught 4 Crusaders. We wish to join the ranks of the triumphant army of the Worldwound. Good lads, brave fighters. We could do with more like you in the cultist ranks, then our victory would be assured. Thank you, I do my best. Caleb watches Lan with rapt attention, his eyes lingering on Lan's horn. Listen to your gut. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Grey Garrison library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it! Darren looks at you with amused curiosity and speaks in a soft voice. I do enjoy your sense of humour. It is quite fiery. Blow him a kiss. Mind the fire, or you'll get burned. Achievement unlocked, a spark. Darren lowers his lashes with a slight smirk. Thanks for the warning, but I am absolutely fire resistant, even if the flame is ever so charming. There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as those crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get make it another 2 barrels of alchemist's fire from the Grey Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. That was interesting. I think that means that I get the option to take the trickster path later on. I have no idea, but it just seems like it would be the right thing for the trickster path. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning grey hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale papery skin covered in H spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the face of the elves even on their deathbed has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. That is an elf with a beard. I guess the worst can be found even among the best. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I am Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I am not mistaken? Isn't that the guy we had in Pathfinder Kingmaker as well? I think so. Storyteller? Ha! That's the first I've ever heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people to call me Storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. Sorry about the pauses. Occasionally, I just have to take some sips of water because this game does involve a lot of talking. You have piqued my curiosity. A storyteller. Are you a bard? If so, you should come perform at one of my parties instead of knocking about in this dusty library. A bard? In some sense, yes, but not the type of bard that performs at festivities. I think your guests would lose their appetite after hearing my tales. What a shame, and I was so hoping to wheel you out for my guests. With your unusual appearance, you would have caused quite the scandal. But lugubrious bards are of no use to me. Half the bards in the city are the same. Their repertoire is confined to the one about longing, or the one that causes indigestion, and the one that's a complete waste of time. I mean, really, how is one supposed to host a party with that? How come you didn't burn in the fire? Tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat, it was so strong. I waited for the pain, the burning, but I was unscathed. But the smoke nearly did finish me off. It may be some form of magical protection against fire, but I don't know by what means I may have acquired it. Just another oddity for my collection of the inexplicable. Gloom steals across the storyteller's pensive face. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I of course will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment, I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the old elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. We cannot help him. If it was up to me... Sorry, we can't not help him. Up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and carry you out of here. This is no place for old folks. I have other things to do. I'll help you later. In that case, I will remain here for now. Wandering the city while it's under attack by demons would be inadvisable for a blind person. Don't forget to take me with you when you're going to a safe place. I'd like to look through the area. Claim. Full plate. Okay. Knowledge Arcana 24.
Impossible.
Failed. The enormous black rift cuts the library in half. It goes so deep that one can only wonder who could have possibly wreaked such destruction and how. This is a new book, I think. Without a shadow of a doubt, expecting nothing in return, the life and feats of Lord Axelar Tresbolt.
I've spotted something.
This bookcase is full of text describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all this knowledge wasn't enough to save Kenabres from the spawn of the Abyss. Here we have the Keen Edge of Truth, Recollections and Admonitions of an Inquisitor of Asmodeus. Up here we have something. How to make money during the war against demons. That sounds like a fun little book. There, you can read it if you want to.
I'm gone.
Shame I didn't succeed on the Knowledge Arcana check. Another book over here. I think we'll come back for him. Because I suspect that it will make us have to go back to the inn if we bring him right now. What's this? Barrel of flammable alchemical substance. Okay. And Terendelev, the Guardian of Kenabres. Wait, I don't seem to be able to leave at all. We have the Varisian Horror. No, there is no exit, so we actually have to take him with us. Bit of an annoyance, since that means we will be going to the inn, I think, and I'll have to travel all the way to get to the Pataxian wine cellar, but okay. I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. Don't have much of a choice. So where did we put him? Over there. The blind elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my savior? I recognized your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me, and please accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. Storyteller's ring and some experience. Irobeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Kenabres that the local wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I have examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Kenabres did I sense a flaw, a spot of corruption inside. A vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Who are you, and why did they let you examine the wardstone? The elf smiles faintly. I am the Storyteller, just an old elf, and a bit more. I am old even for an elf. I have seen many things and have been to many places. Not so long ago I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the stolen lands led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader, so indeed he is the same one. But this is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of others' squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I had a few friends in Erosian who vouched for my integrity. This is why my humble request to be allowed to see the wardstones was granted. I visited all of them, but only found cause for alarm in Kenabres. Do you wield some special magic power, some instinct? Yes, to a certain extent, but it is more of a gift. I can see the past. Stories that have happened. I touch an object and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. Their emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happen to me. This is my power. I have been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day I will gather them all. What blight is concealed in the wardstone? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the wardstone was created, and it is hidden from me. I can only guess. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? A dreadful morning remembered with fear, even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers and started to do what demons do best, kill and desecrate. They say they covered the wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Aomede herself? The locals think this is impossible, but who knows? It was not their last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Balor Koramzade. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Descari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Kenabres. And when the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the Worldwound. Why did you travel to the wardstone? I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. I have heard you, Storyteller. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the wardstone. As far as I know, there is nothing like it in Kenabres, but the demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Terendelev, the Silver Dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you to go where Terendelev perished and search there for something. I am sorry I can't be more specific, but intuition and a strange sense of rightness tells me to point you there. Present the purple stone knife. I found it in the square where Terendelev perished. What do you make of it? The storyteller reaches out and says softly, "Even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions, and shreds of their memories. Maybe it'll better help us understand what we are dealing with. The storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair, to my mother's feasting hall. Her sullen body, overfilled with food, is so huge that I have to look at it with all my eyes at once. On top of her, scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food. You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions that repeat the words of the old elf. Mother greets me with a placid screech. Stupid, greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It is your fault that I have no wings, a symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters. The bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off along with the shreds of meat. Victory. I am the strongest, I am the song of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste, his voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Did this knife belong to a demon? The storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot of the flawless surface of the wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly. Corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless. But it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. Light, white light everywhere. The stone knife falls from the old elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling, the terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner. What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen, or rather might happen. One of the roads to the future. In one of the possible futures, this item will help you to cleanse the wardstone or to destroy it. Feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that has opened up in it. It is hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment your self-preservation instinct takes over and you manage to keep control of your own hands. The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me. But how? I am not an oracle or a prophet. Or is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen... I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us, something we don't yet understand. Can you see the future? I don't know. Obviously I can, but nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The future never opened its secrets to me before I met you. Gods, who are you, and why have our paths crossed? I feel this is not a coincidence. Something momentous is happening. Destiny is pushing us towards something. But what? Questions without answers. I swear this morning I could not have imagined what awaited me. Maybe it's the knife that gives you the power of divination. This knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel that its power is of a different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but manifested in a completely abnormal way. Is what you saw destined to happen? No. The future is not set. It used to be a long time ago when the god Aradon guarded Golarion. But not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, but not the way they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it. But the choice has not been made, and our destinies are not set in stone. Who were you in your vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done. Your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you. But the thing that has just happened, it disturbs me. My gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed, and these changes frighten me. Please examine the items I'm carrying. Perhaps some of them can tell us a story. Okay. Proud Terendelev, protector of Kenarbris. You devoted your life to serving people. Your death is a great loss, but maybe I will be able to find out something about you that is unknown to your many admirers. Ah, what a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Ah, Grandpa Elf, watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles. An old thing created long ago by divine will, but the power that gave birth to it is lost in the darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know? Bring me 5 vials of magic essence, and I will revive this object, and with it, its story. Show Finian. Tell me what you see. Hello, Grandpa Elf. The storyteller carefully takes Finian from your hands. Hello, Finian. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. His face contorts into a painful grimace. I'm coming to again. How long have I been here? They kept me in a cage for 3 days. I know this because 3 times the light on the door disappeared for a long time. Then they chained me to the table, and the bladesmith, everyone calls him the bladesmith, he placed a device with a jar over me. It feels like I'm being fried. At first I tried to break free, but I got tired. Then I screamed. But now I've lost my voice, though the pain is burning right through me. The storyteller stops. His voice changes, becoming more frightened. I think I lost consciousness again. When I woke up, the pain was gone, and I wasn't tied to the table anymore. I was standing near it, and someone else was lying on the table. A burned corpse covered with a black crust. The master took out a handsaw and was sawing off his head in a very focused way. I should have run back then, but I couldn't for some reason. This burned corpse had a symbol on his belt, just like I do, an eye and a star. My favorite belt, a good one. Where would a stranger get one? It must have been someone from my clan, some distant family member. The storyteller stops. When he speaks again, you only hear a muffled whisper. Those crusaders. I was glad when I saw them. I thought they'd come to help, but how was it that I killed them all? Someone told me to, and I obeyed. I don't understand. I understand nothing now. I need to catch my breath. I need all this to stop. Just a minute. Just have to understand what's happening to me. Just need to rest. The storyteller shakes his head, slowly coming to his senses. That is Finian's past, but what awaits him in the future? The dead have no future, but... The storyteller smiles. I see an endless ocean on a good day and a boat flying over the waves. I am so excited, but I don't know whose vision this is. Is this a soul existing here and now, or a soul reborn? Thank you for the story. The storyteller gives Finian back to you. Please take care of this young lad. He is finally in the right hands. Do not worsen his suffering by involving him in dishonorable deeds. Come on, Grandpa Elf, I can take care of myself. I'm not a kid. I don't know what horrors you were talking about, but don't you worry about it, alright? Look after yourself. Present the stone knife. Tell me about its previous owner. Yeah. Show Terendilev's scale to the storyteller. Tell me about Terendelev. The storyteller takes a deep breath and smiles. I am flying. I can finally spread my wings. I am gliding over a broad river. The sunset has turned its surface smooth like a mirror, and I see my reflection. It is as if another silver dragon is rising to meet me from the depths. What is it? The scales on my chest are black, and the darkness is spreading over my body. I wake up. Clear sky sways above me, blazing with heat. I am in human form. The red dust of the wound clings to my cracked lips. Someone is carrying me on a stretcher made of shields and spears. I am so weak I can barely lift my hand to my face. The sight of my own hand terrifies me. It is black, and the skin glistens like scales melted by fire. I probably ought to cry, but I only feel hatred and nausea. All these people around me, out of sympathy for them, did I choose to leave the mountains. I gave up my flights over rivers, and I went to the demon's lair. I don't have a scratch on them, but I am infected with foulness. It's not fair. My life is more precious than their pathetic existence. Oh, how I hate them in this moment. And then I suddenly feel shame. No, these are not my thoughts. The crusaders carrying me are my good friends. I am glad they did not suffer, but I hate them and myself so much. Pain and hatred pierce me all at once. It's all because of them. All because of them. Someone walking beside me touches me, talks to me, but the only thing I hear is, "Your mentor. He will come, he will help," and I lose consciousness. The storyteller takes a deep breath, exiting the vision. Such hatred from Terendelev. Wasn't she on our side? Terendelev has come a long way. Her unit was ambushed by demons once, and she was infected with foulness. The Terendelev you met in Canarbris had gone through many trials and regained her former purity. What happened next? The storyteller puts his head to his forehead. Sometimes the past can be as vague as the future. We all know how Terendelev's story ended, but the beginning is hidden from us. Maybe if we find something else that used to belong to her, we will know more about her struggle. However, no matter what we learn, remember, her soul, the soul of a true dragon, overcame every obstacle, endured every torment. She was able to purify herself. For dragons are truly powerful not only in body, but in spirit too. I found a page that might interest you. Storyteller carefully takes the page from your hands. His fingers touch the ancient letters gently, examining them lightly, following their lines. I see myself. Young, energetic, able to see. Oh gods, have I found the key to my past? Finally, I will find out what my own mind has been hiding from me. Elf's expression becomes withdrawn. The wrinkles on his face soften. Thank you, Caledon. Please, follow me to my story. Let us embark on this journey together. The storyteller inhales sharply a few times and begins his story. They are leaving. The people of Kyonin faced the coming earthfall and admitted that they were incapable of handling this disaster. Proud rulers, artful crafters, brave warriors, wise mages, and skilled healers, all of them hurry to the gate of Sivirian, looking around fearfully. A clean, safe world is waiting for them there. My people decided not to fight for Golarion. I am ashamed and I am sorry for them. Their hearts wavered in the face of the catastrophe. But my will is strong. I am staying. My kinfolk are looking at me angrily. How dare I diminish their decision with my recklessness? My choice makes them cowards, traitors of their own home. For one of them, my former mentor looks at me bitterly. He hands me a neat notebook with a tree bark cover. In case you change your mind. With a heavy sigh, he returned to the line of those departing. Forgive me, brothers and sisters. I watched the gate of the Sivirian stone close, separating me. It is time for me to go too. I open my master's notebook. These are his notes about traveling between worlds, in case you change your mind. He hopes the burden I shouldered voluntarily will be too much. I will lose heart and find my way to Sivirian. That will never happen. My mouth set stubbornly, I tear my master's notebook to pieces. I use my forced pride as a shield against my fear of what is to come. Why did the elves decide to flee, not fight? The storyteller's lips purse with disdain. They are afraid to lose what they have. They were rulers, long-lived and powerful. They valued their lives and sunshine too much to enter the fight with the aftermath of Earthfall. Your mentor is a mage, then you must be too, yes? Yes. I am an archmage, and this title is well deserved. I have acquired a delicate mastery and succeeded in many areas of magic, but curiosity has always pushed me toward new knowledge since the first day of my apprenticeship. What is the Sivirian stone? A magnificent crystal bent into an arch by a mighty hand of an ancient divine creator. Our great gate to other worlds. It breathes power, dreams of eternity. And why are you angry at your fellow elves? I spent many hundred years in Kyonin. I have always admired the way my kinfolk cared for the forest that was our home. But the rest of the world seemed to mean nothing to them. But I love Golarion, all its places, all the forms it manifests in. I travelled widely and then came home and told my kinfolk about my travels. But they weren't interested. They only cared about Kyonin. Their lack of desire to hear about the wider world makes me sad and angry. What happened next? Earthfall happened at night. I am standing at the top of my tower, many miles to the north of Kyonin, and I see a blaze far in the south. I hear a horrendous rumble. The air is groaning, giving way to a huge rock rushing down on my world. And then, a blow. Vibration that penetrates everything, reaching down into the bowels of Golarion and up to the vaults of the sky. Crunching bones, blood from burst vessels filling my eyes with darkness. Drowning in timelessness along with countless denizens of Golarion. Never before have we been so united in our feelings. When I come round, the darkness remains. My first terrible thought, I'm blind. But no, little by little I begin to see the stone wall. I am alive, but why is it so dark? The answer is quick, the smell of ash everywhere. The great burnt sacrifice filled the air with incinerated particles of what was recently the continent of Aslant. Great clouds of ash covered the sky, cutting us off from the sun and the moon, dooming us to dusk at day and complete darkness at night. My heart sinks with fear. Treacherous thoughts fill my mind. Why did I stay? Why didn't I run like everyone else when I had the chance? I clench my teeth and stand up to watch Earthfall, proudly, like the last archmage of Kyonin should. Will my world really perish like this? Will I perish? No, that will never happen. I am still alive and I can fight Earthfall and the darkness, not run from it in a blind panic like my kinfolk and my cowardly teacher. But what can I do? I will not stop the disaster. I will hardly be able to save empires from their destruction. What can I do? I am but one archmage, powerful and weak at the same time. What is Earthfall? A disaster of untold proportions, an unborn planet dropped on Golarion by blind fate or someone's evil will. A blow so strong that the continent of Aslant is destroyed within moments, turned to ashes, wiped off the face of Golarion. In this burnt sacrifice, clouds of ash and dust are born, stealing our sun. Without the warmth of our star, the air cools, the soil is barren, dark creatures crawl out of their lairs to rule, and the most frightening thing? Without the sun, all hope dies in the heart. This is the age of darkness. What was that tower you mentioned? It's my retreat to the north of Kyonin, my home away from home, my observatory. From its top, I watched the stars and, when they were correctly aligned, the other worlds as well. Here, in the northern wastelands, I found the highest mountain and built a tower on top of it. On clear days, I could see the mist over the lake of mists and veils in the east. That is how high I was. What are you going to do next? I don't know. I need to think. My opponent, Earthfall, is much stronger than me. Without noticing, the storyteller raises his voice to a shout. It is merciless. It does not simply destroy life, it kills an era, ending the greatness of Golarian civilizations. They will sink into oblivion, be forgotten as if they never existed. I need to think. The elf suddenly winces and is silent for a few moments as he calms his heavy breathing. Forgive me, I shouldn't have raised my voice. This story was much harder than many before it, most likely because I played the main role in it. It is so strange to see myself, feel the emotions tearing me up inside. Those that I felt a long time ago and not remember them. It's like I split. I became both the storyteller and the main character. Too bad the story ended at that moment. Please, if you find other pages covered with ancient elven writings on your travels, bring them to me. I might be able to shed some light on my past, and we will find out how my story ended, and perhaps even why I forgot it. Earthfall, that's the same that we just got. Thank you for your stories. Thank you for helping me remember them. Now, I could go on talking to him, but I think we should end the episode here, so I'll do... I need to go, and we did level up, so I think I shall quickly do that at the end of this episode here. I'm going to take yet another level in Sorcerer. Knowledge, Arcana, and Persuasion. I'm wondering... I'm gonna go with Use Magic Device as my third then. Eat. Precise Shot might be useful. But Spell Focus, yeah, we already have Spell Focus for Evocation. Brew Potions, Combat Casting. Elemental Focus. Yeah. One of these is quite useful. Is it Empower Spell or Boaster Spell? I don't remember. There is a lot of things that I can... Here. Arcane Armor. Spell Specialization, that might be useful. Treat your caster level as being too higher for all level variable effects of the spell. I assume I can't pick spells first, no. But the Burning Arc spell is quite useful. And we can select new spells later on, so I think I'll go with that. Level 1 spell, we get 1. There isn't really any of these that strikes out as really good. I guess we take... Nah, not that one. This one wasn't really that good. The saving throw is too often. That's a fortitude. Snowball. Yeah, the snowball could be useful in case something requires cold damage. Level 2. Glitter Dust is useful. Mirror Image is useful. Evocation spell, Molten Orb. The thing with the fire spells is that they are a bit annoying in terms of demons obviously having resistance towards it. Mirror Image would be quite useful, but I already have invisibility, so protection from alignment communal might also be good, but Camellia already have that. I think I'll take Mirror Image. So now we have the other people as well. Nenio. Let's just continue with the Scroll Savant. You get a lot of skill points, don't you? Beat. Greater spell focus, illusion. I think I would like you to take spell focus, maybe necromancy, I'm not sure here. Because actually illusion spells might be useful, but I'll take extend spell. Level 3 can get fireball. I want haste. That is an absolute must spell. Like that, it's not even a question. Monster 3. I'll take haste and I think fireball. I believe she can scribe scrolls or get spells from scrolls anyways, so. Ember. Continue on that. Breadth of experience, that's not bad. Arcane focus? No. Improved elven immunities. So far she hasn't exactly gotten any spells that I find very useful. So game isn't really recommending anything either. I think we'll take resistant spell. Becomes more tenacious when its target resists its effect. Let's make... oh, that is nice. Well, I guess I could get some more useful spells for you now. This is kind of a weird combination of divine and arcane spells. Let's go with Snowball for level 2. Glitter Dust is quite useful to have. Next up is Darren. Don't really need persuasion. Point blank shot would be useful. Could also take weapon focus on this guy. But I don't remember what I'm... Strength -2. He has rather high dexterity. And very high charisma. I think we'll take point blank shot. As for spells, we get a level 1 spell. Why doesn't it say anything? Remove fear. Level 2. That one seems nice. So again, remove paralysis might be very necessary. I'll go with that one. And then we have Woljif. Accomplished sneak attacker, definitely. Get 2 spells. Mirror image. Is molten orb. Then we have Lan. Might not be a bad thing to have him be able to wear armor. Gain 1 additional element. Your skill with your favored weapon. Meh. I think we'll take alertness on him. Then we have Camellia. Piranha Strike. Interesting. Fencing Grace. Yeah, we'll definitely take Fencing Grace. For the rapier, of course. And then finally, we have Sila, who is absolutely useless when it comes to the skills because of her penalties. Selective channel. Yeah, definitely. Can either take a divine weapon bond. Can take an animal companion horse. I don't see why I wouldn't take a horse. I mean, the Divine Weapon Bond isn't bad, but I'm probably going to have +5 sometime anyways, while a horse is more horse. The pun. Okay, with that, we are definitely going to end this episode here. That was a very long episode. I need to rest the party before we go out again, because we have new spells and stuff, and I also need to check the spell books. But if you have any questions and or comments, then please do feel free to leave those in the comment section. And I hope that you enjoyed the episode, even though it was very long. I do apologize for that. And I hope to be seeing you all in the next one.